or snort it up, baby. Hello interwebs and welcome back. I'm Shanna and this is where I share my life and stories and adventures and opinions and whatever else I feel like. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a list of the things that myself as well as my friends think that you should know if you are coming to Japan either as an expat or as a visitor. These are the most important things. There are a lot of these lists out there, but I feel like a lot of them are very overwhelming and also kind of outdated in some aspects. So without further ado, let's get into the things that my friends and I think you should know. So whether you're visiting or whether you're moving here, you don't need to stress about every small cultural nuance. A lot of people understand that A, you're a foreigner, B, you're learning, and C, if you're just here visiting, you're not gonna know everything. And if you're new here, you're not gonna know everything. So don't stress about it. But these are the ones that we think are the most important. Number 1, do not talk on the phone on the train. Just don't. It's rude, it's loud, it's annoying. The only time you usually see Japanese people doing this is if the train's been delayed and they have to call their job or whoever to let them know that they're gonna be late. Don't do it. 2, when taking an escalator, stand to the side, not side by side with your friend. You will notice that certain regions are a little bit different, whether it's stand on the left side, stand on the right side. If you're not sure, look at the person in front of you. If there's nobody in front of you, just choose one and people will probably follow behind you. Number 3, you will need to say sumimasen or hit a button to get your waiter's attention. It feels really weird at first, especially coming from America where that's rude, but I promise it's totally normal here. It feels weird, but you get used to it. Number 4, at busy train or bus stations, please line up to board the train. Usually there are 2 lines for each train, and when the train comes, you walk up and then you go to the side of the door to let the people who are on the train and getting off, get off first. Keep in mind there are also women-only carriages, so look at the ground for the area that you're going into. Number 5, people don't say bless you when other people sneeze, and they're not being rude. You can say it, you're not gonna bother anybody, but don't expect other people to say it to you. Number 6, try not to blow your nose in public. Most people still consider this to be very bad manners, and if you want a solution, here's April's advice. Wear a mask to cover your nasal drip, blow it in private, or snort it up, baby. Number 7, if you're ever unsure of what to do in a situation, look at what everybody else is doing. It's pretty easy to pick up on like the cultural nuances just by observing in different situations. Number 8, here are the most important phrases that I think you should know when you're coming to Japan. And if you have trouble remembering them, try and put them in your phone, keep a list ready, or try and use some mnemonic devices to remember them. Number 1, toilet. Toire, toire. If you say that, people will know that you're looking for a toilet. If you wanna be fancy, you can use the phrase, toire wa doko desu ka? Toire wa doko desu ka? Along with that, it's also really helpful to learn the kanji for big flush and little flush, as well as male and female. Put those in your phone, make a note of it. One more thing about toilets, you're probably gonna have to use a squatty potty at some point, so practice that Japanese squat before you come. Second phrase, excuse me, sumimasen, sumimasen, sumimasen. Phrase number 3, thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. So if you really have trouble with that, you can say arigato. There are different cultural and specific reasons why that can be rude sometimes, but you're foreign, you'll get away with it. But try. Arigatou gozaimasu. Phrase number 4, I don't know or I don't understand. Wakarimasen. 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 And the 5th one is not really so much a phrase, but recognize what a koban is. It's the little police station that you find usually outside of a train station, definitely in neighborhoods as well. Yes, Japan is one of the safest countries in the world, if not the safest, but things do still happen here. I've been accosted by strangers. I've had friends who were assaulted. I've seen fights happen. I've had friends who were stolen from. So you need to know these things, and it's good to be prepared for any situation. Number 9. Garbage and trash bins are still very rare in Japan, and I think it's probably one of the things that helps keep Japan clean. But you can often find them in a 7-Eleven or any other konbini. During the meantime, carry your trash with you, put it in your bag, whatever you need to do. On the subject of convenience stores or konbinis, number 10, convenience stores are literally the best thing in Japan. The food is delicious. There's always AC if you need to escape from the heat during summer. And there's ATMs which take almost any international card, so you can get your cash there. Number 11. On the subject of cash, Japan is still a cash-based society, and it's recommended to carry a minimum of $200 or 20,000 yen on you at most times. Now, average Japanese person apparently carries around $500 or 50,000 yen, which is a crazy amount of money that I just can't imagine ever carrying on me because it seems dangerous in my mind. But if you want to do that, you can. Now, coming into 2020 and the 2020 Olympics, there are a lot of businesses and a lot of places implementing more card usage. It is becoming more common, and probably by 2020 you're going to see it a lot more. But you're not going to have it everywhere, so don't rely on it. Be prepared to use cash. Number 12. You can buy almost anything at the 100 yen stores here in Japan. Like, you need almost anything, it's probably there. Literally, most of my apartment, probably from the 100 yen store. Just throwing that out there. Number 13. Public Wi-Fi is still a very rare thing here in Japan. So if you're somebody who needs it, get yourself a SIM card, get yourself a pocket Wi-Fi, or try to rely on going to the convenience stores, which have kind of spotty sometimes, but at least it's there, Wi-Fi. Number 14. Don't wear boots or shoes that are a pain in the ass to take on and off. In Japan, you don't wear your shoes indoors. There's a lot of restaurants that you take your shoes off in. There's a lot of places in general that you take your shoes off in. And you don't want to be that person who's fighting with their shoes and holding up a line, or just fighting with their shoes and looking silly and being embarrassed. So wear shoes that are easy to get on and off. Number 15, and this one is really important. When you are speaking English with people who don't natively speak English in Japan, keep it simple. Keep it simple. I promise you it will go a long way, because most people in Japan at some time in their life have taken an English class. They know individual words when they're spoken clearly and slowly. When you start making sentences and adding grammar and things get complicated, it's overwhelming, and that's where they freak out and they panic. So keep it simple. It will help you a lot. Number 16. Many restaurants here are still not super allergy friendly, and in fact, on a lot of packaging for food, they don't put every ingredient. So if you are somebody with severe allergies, be aware of that. Make sure you do your research beforehand, and if you need to learn any specific phrases, learn them, because it will be really helpful to you. You don't want to go to the hospital. You don't. Number 17. I hate this one, I hate this one, I hate this one. No offense to anybody who smokes out there, but smoking is still allowed in most places indoors in Japan. Now, if you go to like family style restaurants, when you are seated, you can choose either smoking or non-smoking most of the time. However, don't go to those very often. In fact, I would recommend going to your izakayas and things more, because you get more of an authentic Japanese experience. And when you go to those, people smoke at them. There are little kids running around and people are smoking. And it's just the way things are here. So be aware of that and be prepared. And if you have a smoke allergy, sorry. Number 18. On the bright side, when you're going to restaurants and izakayas and whatnot here in Japan, there's no tipping. So you don't got to worry about that. Seriously, you don't have to worry about tipping. Don't stress about it. Again, if you're from America, it does feel weird at first not to leave a tip for somebody, but becomes very natural very quickly. Number 19. So Uber is not really a thing here. And honestly, it's not necessary. Taxis are everywhere. They're very easy to grab. And I recommend having your addresses in your phone in Japanese as well as English, just to be safe, although a lot of taxi drivers have been learning English in preparation for the 2020 Olympics. So it should be really easy. If you absolutely need an app, recently there has been an influx of Didi, which is a Chinese-owned company. You can download that, but the app, at least here, is only in simplified Chinese, so it might be a little challenging. Also, you can download the Japan Taxi app. I've never used either of those because I've never needed them, because if you need a taxi, they're everywhere. And if you're ever in a situation where you don't have an app and you need a taxi, you can ask somebody to call one for you. They know what taxi is. It's katakana. Very easy. Also, on the subject of taxis, when you're getting into a taxi, you don't need to open your door. Don't touch the door. They have a little lever inside. They'll open the door for you. Just slide on into the back seat. Number 20. So circling back to restaurants really quick, when you're at a restaurant, you will hear people slurping beside you. Yes, for those of us who are taught that's rude, it's a little bit annoying at first, but you get used to it. When they're slurping their ramen, or they're slurping their udon, or they're slurping their whatever here, it's not rude. They're enjoying and appreciating their food. Number 21. So, if you have tattoos and you are living in Japan, or you are coming to Japan, you're gonna be SOL when it comes to the majority of onsens and public baths. They still don't like them here. Yes, this is something that is slowly changing. There are lists you can find online of onsens and public baths that do allow tattoos, but sadly, it's not changing fast enough. So if you have tattoos and you want to go do those things, you can try to cover it up with makeup. You can try, I'll leave below a link to some band-aids that are really good that look like skin. But if you get caught, you're gonna get kicked out. And our last tip or thing that you should know when you're coming to Japan is something very simple. Be aware of cyclists when you're walking on the sidewalk. It's a lot harder for a cyclist to stop, to move, than it is for you to do it. So when you're walking in the row on the sidewalk with your friends and you hear a little ding ding behind you, try and take up as little space as possible. Move to one side or the other, and just be aware that you're not the only one on the sidewalk. And that wraps it up for our list of tips and things that you should know when you are coming to Japan. Now, I might have missed some things that you think are important if you either live in Japan, are from Japan, or have been to Japan. And if you think I missed something really important, leave it down below. So let's help each other out. And yeah, I appreciate all of you guys being here. That pretty much wraps it up for this one. I hope you liked it. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you don't know what to comment down below, leave a little peace sign emoji, because it's so popular in Japan. And not only does that help out my channel, but it lets me know that you were here. It gives us a chance to chat, and I love to see your faces down there. If you want another way to help out my channel, down below there will also be links to my Patreon, as well as my merch store and all of my other socials. There's no obligation to check any of those out, but if you want to, you can. I appreciate all of you guys being here, and I will see you next time. Bye! Oh, hello there. Yes, this is me casually drinking from my Ginky AF merch, because I don't have any bloopers to share. But if you like my cup, or my shirt, or some leggings, or some socks, there's links in the description below. Be Ginky and enjoy your coffee, or tea, or water, or whatever else you like to drink from mugs.